new weight loss drug could soon hit the market, and some say it could be a real game changer. Eli Lilly asking the FDA to fast-track approval of its blood sugar drug tirzepatide for weight loss. The FDA approved the drug last year to help with type 2 diabetes, but the drug makers saw those who were also overweight lost up to 16% of their body weight. A recent study found overweight people without diabetes lost up to 22% of their weight. And this is a drug that a lot of people could be keeping their eyes on. Now, according to the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, between 2019 and 2021, 42% of American adults were living with obesity. Trust for America's Health says that 19 states had obesity rates above 35% in 2022, 3 more than the previous year. So Eli Lilly is expected to send its application soon, and the FDA could make a decision later on this year. If approved, this would be the most effective weight loss drug on the market. Dr. Mona Masheki joins us now. She is the clinical instructor in the Division of Diabetes, Endocrinology, and Metabolism at Vanderbilt University. Doctor, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So, doctor, this isn't the first time that we've seen a diabetes drug used for weight loss. We all know about Ozempic, which was very popular on TikTok and with celebrities. And obviously, Ozempic comes to mind. So what is happening? Why the increased interest in these types of drugs, especially when it comes to weight loss? Have they been studied enough in this area?
So we've been studying these for over a decade now, and the research has been progressing at a very rapid rate. I think the timing comes from the fact that starting with one of Ozempic's predecessors, liraglutide, we really started to see weight loss, and now we're becoming better and better at designing these drugs specifically, not only to treat diabetes, but also to have the weight loss benefit. So it's really because the science has advanced so far.
So Eli Lilly is pushing for this to be specifically a weight loss drug. Let's talk about the differences between this drug and the other diabetes drugs that are out there. How does this differ from Ozempic?
So Ozempic is a single peptide hormone that is called a GLP-1 receptor agonist. This is what we call our first dual cretin, which is it's got 2 peptide hormones in it, namely GLP-1 and another that we call GIP. These are both hormones that are found in the body, and in particular, this dual peptide, as we've seen, has tremendous weight loss benefit beyond anything we've experienced before.
What are the risks involved, though? I believe I was reading up on this drug in particular, as well as Ozempic, that said that patients could experience nausea, vomiting, pancreatitis, and then thyroid cancer. Are there significant risks to using these drugs?
So the great thing is that we've now had drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy on the market, and we've been using them for about a decade. And so we see that the side effects have really not changed as we've gone from one to the other. Really that nausea, which seems to be related also to how effective it is at weight loss at the beginning, but the nausea wears off and the weight loss benefit stays. And the blood sugar lowering stays, which is wonderful. So that's really the biggest concerns. There are the rare side effects, and it hasn't changed going from Ozempic or Wegovy to Mounjaro, which is tirzepatide. We're really seeing the similar side effects. So pancreatitis is a rare side effect, so I will ask all my patients if they've ever had pancreatitis before. And then the thyroid cancer is more or less something that's been seen on the animal side and the clinical side. We're not really seeing that in people. That's still something we always like to ask, but thyroid cancer is not a big concern. It is an extremely rare side effect.
So because you said it lowers your blood sugar and it also changes your metabolism in a sense, is this a lifetime drug? Is this something that you need to be on for the rest of your life?
Absolutely. I think when we talk about chronic medical conditions, and people like to talk about, for instance, high blood pressure. We never tell a patient, okay, you're going to be on this high blood pressure medicine for a short amount of time and then you're going to come off. The expectation is this is a chronic medical condition. And part of what obesity researchers and physicians have been trying to do is to help people understand that the same thing applies for the metabolic disturbances that we see with obesity. So all of these obesity drugs, when you come off of them, we do see the weight regain because you've taken away the benefit that they've given to the patient. So I think these will be long-term medications for weight loss as well as for diabetes, of course.
And 4 in 10 Americans are obese. I mean, could this drug make a significant impact at reducing not just obesity in the United States, but maybe other chronic conditions as well?
Absolutely. We know that obesity increases heart disease. We know that it increases liver disease, cancers. And so this is going to have a tremendous effect. We as endocrinologists occasionally like to joke that we're going to put the weight loss surgeons out of business with these drugs. And I think that's an outcome. Weight loss surgery, of course, is still our most effective treatment for severe obesity. But these drugs are really doing a great job of getting closer and closer to those goals. When you're seeing weight loss in the 20-25% range and maybe even higher, as we get more of these drugs coming on the market, I think it's going to be a much better and more viable option for a lot of patients.
And quickly, because we're running out of time, but what about the cost? Because we hear that some of these drugs can be $1,000 before insurance, such as the case with Ozempic. Will these drugs be affordable?
As someone who treats these patients, I certainly hope that we make headway in that. As we all know, the cost of healthcare is a topic beyond discussion for today and certainly beyond my expertise. But they're absolutely extremely expensive, and they're going to remain that way for a long time. So the question of whether insurance covers it really has to do with our continued understanding of obesity as a chronic disease, not only of itself, but as a contributor to everything that we see. From, again, as I said, from contributing to diabetes, but also to the heart disease, to the liver disease, and to the cancers. So treating it early and decreasing obesity is, we hope, going to decrease those kinds of outcomes. And we've got some exciting clinical trials that are on the way that are really going to test that in a meaningful way. But the cost is something that we're going to have to take on, globally as we decide how to treat these patients.
Yeah, this really could be a game changer in so many different areas when it comes to healthcare. Dr. Mona Mashayeki from Vanderbilt University, thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Thank you.